Thanks for having me again, Rudy. It's great to be here. Looking forward to seeing this race, man. You got a great field tonight. This is going to be fun.
Sure is. A great bunch of guys out here. I've been watching them practice, and I tried to go out and run the times they're running, and I can't do it. So I don't know what kind of setup they got, but great job by these guys setting up these trucks tonight for Las Vegas.
Yeah, some of these guys pretty quick out here. I mean, the field basically, all the guys that I know are going to be running for sure are about 4 to 5/10 of a second from top to bottom. A half second's not much here, considering some of these guys have been out qualifying trim and set some of them quick times. Some of them have been drafting a little bit. There is a little draft here in Vegas. So this field's really close. Ought to make for some really good racing.
Absolutely. 80 laps here at Las Vegas. I kind of expect this to be my expectations. I think it's going to be a really good race. These guys do put on a really good race every week. Ones that I'm kind of looking at here, David Lowe, definitely one that I've been kind of watching. He's pretty strong. Brent Keith.
Yeah, David Lowe, our race winner from last week. Or actually, he didn't end up winning. He ran out of gas coming on, and Perry Snelson snuck by at the end, but he had that race in hand. So, yeah, he's pretty quick. I mean, got to watch Gary Freidinger. He's just amazingly consistent. I've watched a little bit in practice, and I've raced with Gary a bunch of times. He's a really consistent driver. I expect to see him up front all night.
Brandon Thomas running the fastest time in practice here. Must have a pretty good setup under him. Now, one that I was looking at, Patrick Rowland, was pretty strong last week. I believe he won last week, didn't he?
No, he had that incident off of turn 4 there when he was leading with about 5 to go, and then Lowe ran out of gas, and Perry Snelson stuck by and picked up that win. But yeah, Patrick's pretty quick. Brandon Thomas, yeah, he's got pretty good sit under him. He's pretty consistent. He's not one of those guys that's going to force his way to go to the front. He's going to let the race come to him. I know about his style. Ray Schroeder, always consistent, always fast guy. He's another one we need to watch tonight.
Definitely. So there's a lot of fast guys out here tonight. And again, like I said, I think this is going to be a great show for you guys to put on here tonight. Las Vegas, one of the premium tracks in iRacing. A lot of guys really like this track. It's got a lot of good grip. You lift a little bit in the turns. You run about the middle line. You can dive it down to the bottom if you need to make a pass. And just a good racing track, multi-groove track.
If you're set up good, you can get around the bottom one too. It's extremely bumpy down there, but you can do it. In 3 and 4, these guys won't be lifting at all. The wind is setting right. It's blowing down into that corner. They're going to be able to hold it wide open, get down in there. The biggest thing for them is going to be able to get it to the white line and keep it there. Make sure they don't have to put any more wheel in it than they need to at the center so that it doesn't get loose up off the exits. I think that's what we're going to see. A couple of problems tonight probably is the exit of 4 and definitely the exit of 2. When you come up out of the hole, there's a couple of bumps right there that kind of get the truck a little light, makes it back in, want to step out. If you're not set up right or you're offline a little bit and you don't lift or you don't give up a little bit to get through that exit, turn 2 will really hurt you bad. But you're going to see most of these guys run the very middle of the track through 1 and 2 and squeeze that white line down through 3 and 4. We're going to see some really quick laps. They're going to be running 30.90s and 31.0s the first 10 to 12 laps of this race. And I imagine the fast guys probably won't be falling off much more than about 31.6 by the time they run out of fuel at about lap 53 to 55.
So we can make this on 1 pit stop, and just a long enough race that we can do it on 1 pit stop. But I think if there's any cautions, with cautions out here, I think these guys are going to probably stop and take some tires, and tires are going to be a premium here to try to hang on to that top spot. But yet, I'm sure they're not going to want to give up that track position to duck on pit road, but it's going to be totally up to the leader. And Roger, something we talk about every week in all of our races is pit road. Pit road, as we always say, a driver can win or lose it on pit road, and we have seen it many times where the guys have just totally blown it on pit road, overshooting their pits, had to back up, just having long pit stops. So I hope we don't see that here tonight, but we just might. It does happen to everybody from time to time.
Yeah, that's the number one game changer any place that we go to is in pit stops. You can just, you hit your box and you stop short. That's going to add a second or two to your pit stop time. You can overshoot it and have to back up, and that really adds a bunch of time. You can speed going down pit road whether you're under caution or under green, and it's a lot easier under green because coming from 180 down to 55 miles an hour is a big drop, and those other trucks whizzing by out there on the track, sometimes you don't pay attention. You get so caught up, and I don't want to lose too many spots or too much time, and you can speed. I hope we see green flag pit stops here tonight. I'm going to guess if we do, if this were to go green, you'd see guys take about 2 tires and maybe about 10 gallons of fuel, 11 gallons of fuel, be able to run it all 80 laps. And, that's going to be about a 10-second pit stop. So you're going to see a whole lot of strategies if this stays green, but that pit road, that's either going to be the make or break point if we don't have a whole bunch of cautions.
Absolutely. And one other thing that I usually kind of bring up, and I'm kind of a stickler on it, is communication out there on the track. Let the guys know your intentions. If you're going to go low underneath them, let them know, you're inside of him or on the outside of him. So, not to rub doors or whatever. But rubbing is racing, as we always say. But we don't want to see a bunch of cautions, and I'm sure these guys don't either.
Yeah, no, these guys, they want to let each other know. You're going to have 20 or 21 trucks tonight out there, and if you're the guy that's running 10th and you need to pit, you definitely want to communicate those guys behind you, especially coming through 3 and 4 with everybody trying to be at the bottom. It just, that ended up being a big mess if somebody didn't communicate. So you'll see communication. It'll all work out, I think. I don't think we're going to see too much. Like I said, mostly what we're probably going to see is guys get loose at them 2 exit points, and if we have any major issues, that's what's going to be from is a truck getting loose and collecting somebody else.
So as we're coming down to the 5-minute mark here, I think these guys have been practicing out here for almost 2 hours now. So I think they probably got their trucks about as dialed in as they can possibly get them. Between them and the crew chiefs figuring out what they need to do to tighten the truck up or loosen the truck up and dealing with the wind. I think this is going to be a big problem for these guys out here tonight, Roger.
Yeah, they're going to have to deal with the wind in 1 and 2. That's where it's blowing up across the track from bottom to top. And you already got to deal with those bumps and that wind. Every time the truck bounces a little, it's make that rear end a little light. That wind's going to try to push it just a little bit further out from underneath that truck. If your setup's not quite right to handle that, you don't got your shock package just right, you're really going to have to back out of the throttle. Guys are going to end up losing a bunch of time there. 3 and 4, like I said before, that's just mash it and go. Hope you can get it to the bottom and keep it there. You want a little bit of rotation in the center and get a good drive off because the front stretch is really long with that big curve in it. Right after the start-finish line, though, it gets really slick, especially when the wind direction kind of changes on that truck. Guys have spun out in practice already just past the start-finish line where it really kind of starts to kink and bank out to go into turn 1. They're not prepared for that. And if you're riding behind somebody, it's actually pretty good. It'll help you stay a little bit tighter. But if you're out in front of somebody or you're by yourself, it can get loose right there. Can get a little tricky. That kind of activity has slowed down quite a bit over the last 15-20 minutes of practice. I haven't seen anybody really spinning out right there. But earlier tonight when they were trying to figure out what the wind was doing to them, there was a whole bunch of that. So I think everybody's kind of got them dialed in. I don't think we're going to see any more speed out of these guys than what we're seeing right now. They're really pressing these trucks as hard as they can press them. And I think everything's going to be a really tight racing. But I think these guys are professional enough and courteous enough they can handle it.
That's for sure. Yeah, I tried to make a couple laps around there, and my the setup that I have is, I guess, is just not quite able to handle that wind. And now I could make it through 1 and 2 just fine. It's coming off of 4 is where I seem to struggle. So, not sure. Maybe my setup might have been just a little bit too loose, I believe.
Well, in 3 and 4 right there, when you come off of 4, it kind of flattens out. It doesn't have any, there's not that hump and then you're up on the straightaway. It kind of comes out of that corner and it kind of rolls up and over and flattens out. And it can get pretty loose there, especially if you're a little snug in the center. You got to put a little extra wheel in it. Makes that rear end get real skatey when it's coming off that corner. So I haven't seen a whole lot of that here tonight. A few guys. Now, if you get tucked up underneath somebody, you're going to make that guy in front of you really loose. That's the way guys are going to get passes done. They're going to get up behind them, the last third of that corner in turn 4, get that guy a little loose on that exit, make him have to hesitate or make him have to chase that back end up towards the wall while you're able to keep your foot in it and drive up beside him going down the front stretch. We're going to see a bunch of passes off of turn 4 tonight.
Watching him practice here, Patrick Rowland, boy, Patrick Rowland, 3/1000ths of a second slower than Brandon Thomas. So, I mean, hopefully these guys, they were out there practicing with their qual setup, and we're going to have to see. Maybe Patrick might be able to take that top spot away from Brandon. Not sure if that was involved any drafting or not, but we're going to have to check this out because they're coming down here with a little bit less than 2 minutes until these guys do take the track for the qualifying round.
If you look at those top 4, Rudy, 777, 779, 790, and 801, that's 300ths of a second. You can't blink your eye that quick.
No,
that's nothing on this track, and these guys are really going to put times at least close to, I'm going to say an 80. Let's go with Schroeder's time there. That may be the fastest you see in qualifying. I think those other 3 times had just a tick of draft on them.
yeah, all within. Actually, you know what? That's 13/1000ths of a second that they are. Yeah, you can't blink that fast between first and third. 13/1000ths of a second.
If you want to go a little further, 13/100ths of a second is between the number 1 spot and the number 11 spot.
Wow. Very tight field these guys are running out here. So, I'm telling you what, I think this is going to be a great race out here. It looks like we're going to have about 21 drivers, I believe, take to the track? 20?
Yeah, 21 cars going to take to the track. It's going to be exciting. There's a little bit of drafter, so you're going to be able to pull up on that guy in front of you. You're going to have to show just a little patience, set him up, time the exits of the corners just right, and get underneath them. It's going to be exciting. We're going to see a lot of pack racing tonight. And then once the tires wear a little, you're going to start seeing who's got a long run set up or who's got a short run set up. It'll start to stretch out. But we can get through the first 15 laps of each run. You'll start to see the field string out just a bit, and then we're going to see what everybody's got.
All right, looks like everybody is done with practice now, and they're going to be taken to the track now for qualifying. So we'll bring up the qualifying grid here and see where everybody does qualify. I'm kind of looking for, like you said, a few other guys that could surprise us maybe and pull this out. Mike Vining, a very strong contender. Danny McCoon. So, not just the Patrick Rowland, David Lowe, Schroeder, these guys. So we could be surprised by a good qualifying time by somebody a dark horse, somebody that we're not expecting.
Yep, and nothing like making it under the wire. I see the name Perry Snelson pop into this server, our race winner from last week. He made it with no time to spare.
So he should be able to make that qualifying time then.
Yeah, this will be an exciting field. I was out there, and it looks like we've got about a dozen people watching the race tonight, Rudy.
All right, that's good. Yeah, we like to have all kinds of viewers out there, so make sure you get your friends and family over there to watch it too. Just tell them to go to twitch.tv/MaxSpeedTV. Make sure you click that follow button underneath the viewing screen and follow us, because we do broadcast 6 nights a week. And if you do have any trouble watching it there on Twitch, you can head over to our website at MaxSpeedTV.com And it should be a little bit better viewing over there if you do have any problems. The only problem with that is you don't have the Twitch chat. You can't chat with your buddies and friends and have a good time, but most everybody doesn't have an issue with it on Twitch. So we're starting to see some times come in now. Schroeder up there on the top with a 30.849. Rolling with an 862. So starting to see some good times come in now. Brandon Thomas, his first lap, 31.010. He was fastest in practice, but let's see if he can get on his second lap, see if he can get it up there to that top spot.
You know, these times are starting to show, and the fast times are kind of where I thought they would be. The low 8s. A lot of those 7s were draft. I just had a feeling about that, but
yeah.
But I see a lot of these names right where you think they ought to be, near the top. You know, top 6, 7 guys right there, about what I thought we'd see.
All right. Snelson.
Perry Snelson, no practice, comes in and takes the pole, looks like.
With an 8:45. Wow. Look at that. Now that was, I'm not sure if that was probably his first lap.
Yeah, because the second lap, you're going to lose about 2 to 3 tenths. It's that hard on the tires to go out here and try to run that truck that hard.
Yeah, especially on cold tires like that. Maybe once you got a little heat into them, you might be able to get back up there close to that time. But yeah, I think you're right, Roger. That first lap's your bank, your money lap. So got to make sure you get it in there in the first lap.
All the way back 10th. I mean, you're only talking about 15. Well, not even, just about 1.5 tenths from first to 10th. That's still pretty close field, even in qualifying.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. So Snelson coming in on the top spot. Well, sneaking that in here with no practice.
Not much you can say. The guy's just fast everywhere he goes. It's good to see that they got a big field for tonight. It seems like either some really good recruiting or that the TV broadcast has helped them a little bit, because we only had, about 6 or 8 trucks last week, and they got 20 this week. That's 3 times as many. That's excellent.
Yeah. It was a small field last week.
The time change may have helped them too. They did move up, accommodate a bunch of new drivers, so that may have helped them, snag a few guys too. And it's good to see. I'm glad these guys are getting a bigger field in here. It's good for them. It's good for everybody.
Yeah, I was glad they did pull it in. Especially for them, because getting more drivers, like you said, that does help out. All right, so it looks like everybody going to be taking the grid here, and in just a minute we're gonna give the rundown of everybody here as they take the grid. All right. See if we can, all right, here we go. All right, so, this thing keeps changing on me. Why is it changing on me?
Technical difficulties tonight, sir?
No, I think it's all right now. All right, so
cool.
Perry Snelson on the pole with a 30.844. in the number 12. On the outside of him, the number 42 of Ray Schroeder. Am I saying that right? Schroeder?
Yep.
Okay. Patrick Rowland starting in third in the number 88. On the outside of him, the number 36 of Craig Johnson. They're starting in fourth. Steve Jones in fifth in the 05. In sixth spot, Doug Lemons in the 70. In seventh spot, the number 83 of Stephen Pearson. In eighth spot, the number 55 of David Lowe. In ninth, the 19 of Mike Vining. And rounding out the top 10 is the 07 of Brandon Thomas. Go ahead, Roger.
Starting on the inside, on the 11th spot will be the 77 of Danny McCune. Outside of him, the 68 of Rick Walker. Starting 13th, the 63 of Rodney Harris. And on his outside, in the 14th spot, the number 40 of Brent Keith. 15th spot is the 87 of William Toney. The 16th spot will be the 33 of Sam Henry. 17th will be held down by the 71 of Arnold Johnson. The 18th spot, the number 9 of Timothy McFarland. The 19th spot is going to be the 29 of Gary Freidinger. The 20th spot looks like that's going to be Kevin Mort, and John Gamble is going to round out the field in the number 5 truck.
Yeah, looks like Timothy McFarland going to be starting on pit road. So, all right, well, looks like they're coming around here, Roger, to take the green flag. So if you would, sir, you want to call it down?
Oh, you bet. We're going to see a really good race tonight, Rudy. I think everybody's going to try to settle in here and just kind of get comfortable. These guys are really good at this, and they know how to drive these trucks. So I think we're going to see a really, really good race tonight. Snelson's going to bring him around off of turn 4 here. He's waiting for that pace car to drop in so that he can go. I see a truck blinking right there. Looks like the 88 of Rowland. Hopefully that'll smooth out for him. He's starting off close to the front for that. All right, pace car's in. And the green flag's in the air. We are underway at Vegas. Snelson got a pretty good start there. He didn't get too far away from Schroeder though.
A little bit of a shot out of the gun there, but definitely not enough to get too far away.
Well, they're 2 wide, about 6 deep back there behind them too. Schroeder tries to cross him over in 3.
Looks like he did get a run on him, coming underneath him, and does get by Snelson to put Snelson back. Now Patrick Rowland goes side by side with him, coming to the stripe. Patrick Rowland going to roll into second place. He does slide it up in front of Snelson and takes over the second spot. Now the 05 into the picture. We've got several of them battling back here for like 4th, 5th, 6th. Several side by side coming into the turn 3 here. And now starting to kind of get down to a little bit more single file, Roger.
Yeah, it looks like our first 4 have worked it out. The race for 6 there, they're going to work that out finally. It won't take too long. These guys will settle in, and then they'll start working on passes. Oh, the 19 truck really loose right there after the start-finish line. He's going to gather back up, but he's going to drop from about 8th place all the way back, probably around 19th. That's Mike Vining.
Yeah, he definitely got way down there and couldn't get it back up on the track.
He was way on that outside when they went through the start-finish line there. Boy, that's really slick just right after that start-finish line. He did a good job of staying out of everybody's way.
All right, so Schroeder's still up in front, rolling right behind him. And, Perry Snelson never even did get to lead the first lap. So the only one that's led any laps has been Schroeder.
And he's under fire right now from Rowland.
Rowland taking a peek.
36 truck of Craig Johnson's looking inside of Snelson. I'm looking at that truck. That truck's already got nose damage. 36 though.
May have been like on the start of the race. Maybe there might have been a little bit of checking up on the start. And we see that a lot too, Roger. The guys check up on the start like that, and we do get some nose damage. And that nose damage could be. Oh, we got one way off of the track there.
Well, that is the 36er Craig Johnson.
Yes, sir. And he looks like he did tag the outside wall. Let's go back and take a look at this. That would be Craig.
Well, he came off of the turn 2 there down the backstretch, and he got up real close to Snelson, and they touched, and he lost the nose of that truck, and he hammered the inside wall. That truck's got extensive left side damage. Won't be surprised if the toe's knocked out of that. He's going to really probably need to go ahead and just bite the bullet, head for pit road, use that one reset these guys have tonight, get that thing fixed, and then try to get a waiver round on a caution here if we get one.
Yeah, because, boy, he hit the inside wall a ton. Oh, boy, did he.
Yes, he did.
So, all right, Craig.
Up here at the front, Ray Schroeder and Patrick Rowland have gapped the field by at least a second and a half.
Yeah, this is great racing going on up here. These guys showing the way like this. Obviously have a killer setup underneath them.
Snelson's going back. He's going to be fifth by the time they get to the line.
Yeah, looking back here to third, Steve Jones now taking over the third spot, about a second and a half behind first and second there. And right behind him, he's mounting a challenge. Looks like Steve Jones is going to go back, so Doug Lemons goes into the third spot.
Snelson, he's still going back. He's trapped on that outside. Danny McCune, Stephen Pearson, looks like Rodney Harris all looking to get past Snelson here. He just can't get off the outside. You do not want to be stuck up there. Not for very long, anyway.
All right, so get back up here. Steve Jones now back to fourth. Looking back on him, that we've got several guys that are following him, trying to get by him, but I don't know, man. He seems to be strong, just hanging on right there, right now, waiting for these tires to come in, get a little heat in them, and get a little more bite. David Lowe up to fifth here, running fifth after starting eighth, running into fifth position. So one that I was kind of rooting for out here tonight, David Lowe.
Yeah, he's worked his way. David started eighth, and he's worked his way up to fifth real patiently. I mean, we're on lap 10. He doesn't have to go anywhere fast. He's waiting for the track to come to him a little bit. He'll get there. All he needs is a caution to get closed up. I think he can run with those guys up front.
Doug Lemon's still hanging on about a second and a half behind our leaders. Let's get back up here to the front and see this battle going on. Patrick Rowland really putting the pressure on Schroeder. Waiting for him to make a mistake. All he's got to do is make a little mistake. And Patrick Rowland is going to capitalize on that. Well, looks like he got a nose stuck underneath him coming off the 4. Can't quite make it stick enough to get by him.
I'll tell you what, that gaggle right there behind the 05 truck of Steve Jones, those boys are really in a mess right there.
Right along with Patrick Rowland here, looking ahead to our leader. Every once in a while he sticks that nose on the inside of him, but he just cannot make it stick coming off of turn 4. Schroeder's showing the way.
Yeah, if you try to pinch it down a little right there, it'll really break loose on you. Oh, we had contact back there between Lowe and Jones. Pushed Jones all the way up against the outside wall in turn 2. He's going to drop from about 6th to about 12th real quick right here. Yes, back to the deal with Rowland. Every time he tries to poke his nose out coming off a 4 on that bottom right there, the truck's going to get a little slick, and he just loses that drive he needs. He's getting a good run from the center up. He just cannot, he can't get his nose completely inside because he's got to be patient with that truck so he don't get loose.
Doug Lemon's kind of pulling away from David Lowe, and David Lowe getting challenged by Danny McCune on the inside, and that would be for the 4th position.
Yeah, I think all these guys got separated from Lemons when the 05 truck at Jones there got a little squirrely in front of everybody. It stacked this whole group up, but Lemons had already gone by, and it just gave him a big, comfortable gap. Now, the rest of these guys are just racing hard for it.
Danny McCoon really having a difficult time trying to get by David Lowe. David Lowe staying up on that high side, getting a lot of good bite coming off of the turn. Maybe not where he wants to be, but he is maintaining there, barely staying ahead of Danny McCoon. Danny gets a good run coming off of turn 4 that time, and Danny might just cross the finish line ahead of him, and it looks like he did take that position away from him. So Danny McCoon moves into the 4th spot. David Lowe way up high, and a bunch of them coming in underneath him. We've got a bunch of guys capitalizing on that. David Lowe going way up high there in turn 2, I believe it was. May have caught a little bit of that wind that we were talking about.
Yeah, Rick Walker got real loose running in that group. Had to take it down through the grass, and he's falling quite a ways back now off that bunch. That's still just a battle right there for about 6th spot.
Brandon Thomas now running in the 9th position. Actually 8th when they cross the line. He'll be in 8th place. Snelson now going back another position, so Snelson back to 9th place. So,
not having any practice may be hurting him. He may not have been prepared for the wind.
That's for sure.
Patrick Rowland's taking over our top spot coming off turn 2.
Yes, he has. Patrick Rowland going to be our new leader when they come across the line. Missed that pass.
He got a great run off the exit of turn 2 to get past Schroeder there.
And that's what it takes. You know, you've got to be just really, really concentrate on making sure you hit that line, hit that mark, and try to set the guy up. Maybe try a little different line than what he's running.
Yeah, don't look now, but Lemons has run those 2 down. He's in the draft now.
He sure is.
Oh, wreck in turn 3. Wow, did he grab that truck? I saw that truck go completely sideways.
Oh my, I guess so. And no caution. Wow. Danny.
No caution. Wow, Danny McCoon, he got in there and got Rodney Harris got in the left rear corner of that truck. Danny did a good job of hanging on to that. That could have been a big wreck.
Sure thing.
Well, just right after that, Rick Walker got crazy loose and hit the outside wall.
No caution. Man, that's amazing. 20 laps in the books, right, as they come across the line.
Yeah, looking at Walker's truck. I'm sorry, Rudy, go ahead.
Doug Lemon's trying to hang on here 0.6 of a second behind our leader, but trying to reel these front 2 in.
And the 68 truck of Walker's going to hit pit road here, Rudy. He's got a bunch of right side damage on that truck getting into that wall. I think he was trying to avoid the 77 who was gathering it back up off the exit of work. He got into that outside wall a little bit.
Okay, Walker. Did he come down pit road?
Yeah, he went on to pit road.
Oh, okay. I see him now. All right. Shoot.
It's still early, going a lap down here isn't that big a deal. We catch a caution. A lot of guys will take a wave around.
He did do a 4-tire change, so getting that thing back out here now.
4th through about 9th is right here. Man, these guys have been a pack of trucks from the time we dropped the green, and they just cannot get away from each other.
Doug Lemon's just still. Oh, and Patrick
Rowland. Big crash.
Oh, man. Caution. And no
There's
caution.
Our caution.
Holy moly.
What a wreck.
Yeah, we got to go back and take another look at that because that was insane there. Not exactly sure what happened to him, but boy, we're going to go back here and take a look. Well, maybe.
Oh yeah, let me know when you got it queued up. I can see exactly what happened there, Rudy.
Watching him now here.
Woo, that was Jeff Gordon-esque right there. He hit that little angled spot in the wall on the inside. He just touches that wall coming off of turn 2 right there. Got a little tight, brushed that wall, unloaded the right rear corner of that truck, and when he steered it left to come off that wall, they just snapped loose on him, and he chased it down through that infield area, which is all paved, but he slammed into that little angled wall piece right there. Looked just like when Gordon hit it a few years ago. Wow, what a wreck. Then he slides back out on the track and gets, I think Rodney Harris ran in the back of him.
Yeah, there's where he touched the wall. And boy, I'm telling you what, that was such a light touch, too. And, yeah, when he come back up across the track, that seems to be when he got the most damage, when he come back up across the track like that. And somebody plowed into him. I
believe it was Rodney Harris, maybe? Or David Lowe.
It was the number.
Was a dark truck.
I believe that might have been Snelson.
I'll have to go back and take another look at that. I was thinking it was a black truck.
Snelson is the one in the number 12. Well, he caught a piece of him, but Snelson just totally rear-ended his butt. So, all right, Patrick back out here now, running in the 14th place.
Oh yeah, you're right. Wow, I saw that black truck go in there, and I thought that's who hit him in the square in the tailgate, but it was not. It was Snelson.
All right, Steve Jones staying out, did not pit, but everybody else stopping and making pit stops. It looks like Steven Pearson gaining a bunch of positions with that fast pit stop he had with a 13.7. Doug Lemons with a 13.5 second pit stop. Danny McCoon, 13.4 seconds. We did see, I see a 1-2 tire changer here of Sam Henry, only doing 2 tires. But he comes back out here in 12th. And now Steve Jones brings his down pit road. That's going to relinquish the lead to Doug Lemons.
Yeah, you know, he may have just been looking for a point for that lap, too.
Yeah, that could have been, yeah. Because he that does give him a point for leading the lap.
We'd have a few wave around trucks, look like Walker, Mort. Arnold Johnson.
Quite a few of them ahead of our leader here.
Craig Johnson.
Timothy McFarland. I'm not sure, is he up front there too?
He's just now rolling off a pit road. I don't believe he's going to get a lap back this time.
Okay. So
it looks like we didn't change a whole lot up front, Rudy. Lemons and Schroeder switched spots on the pit, but Pearson was third when we went in. Thomas was right behind him, and Rodney Harris was right behind that. So I don't think we did too many swaps, just the front.
Yeah, Snelson, definitely a big gain for him, coming back up to the 6th position. Danny McCoon picking up a couple spots too. He'll come in 7th restart. David Lowe 8th, and William Tony there in 9th. Brent Keith in 10th. So
Patrick Rowland has the 88 back on pit road again.
Yeah, the big loser was Patrick Rowland. Well, as hard as he got hit there, I believe that was Snelson that hit him.
Yeah, no, I went back and looked, and you were right. He just got clipped a little by the 63.
Yeah.
And then the 12 came in there and just ran right up the back side of him.
I don't know if he just didn't have anywhere to go, or I didn't see. I think there was somebody on the inside of him, and all he had on the outside was the wall. So.
Well, I think he was about the 4th truck in that line, and Pearson and Thomas jumped low, and Rodney Harris got the view right after they moved, and it was late for him. He jumped high, and Snelson, you know, you got to get the deer in the headlight look right there. When all of a sudden the seas part and there's something dead stopped right in front of you, there's not much you can do.
Right.
The wave around cars will come around and join the back of the field now. That 36 truck is torn up.
They don't get
Looking
any
at the back of
resets?
it. They had one. I wonder what happened on his second, because he's already been on pit road. I know. I saw him on pit road.
Well, you know, all it takes is just a bump by somebody or tap the wall. But anyhow, we're going back to green here, Roger. Pace car's ducking on to pit road here right now. Doug Lemon's leading them down. And the green flag waves, and here we go, off and running again. Doug Lemon's trying to get a little bit of a run on Schroeder. Schroeder back up there starting in the second spot. He's probably saying, why can't I be starting in the first spot? But
being on the outside may hurt him right here, because Pearson's going to make a run at this.
Absolutely. Pearson now even taking a look on the inside of our leader, Doug Lemons. It looks like he's got a nose under him going into 3. Might be able to complete that pass before they get to the start-finish line. And it looks like we may have a new leader out here, Stephen Pearson.
That was a power move right there from the drop of that flag. He just never lifted.
So Stephen Pearson, our new leader. Doug Lemon's hanging right onto the back bumper of that truck, though, not letting Stephen get out too far.
And Rodney Harris up to 4th. Danny McCune up there. Rodney Harris to 3rd. Danny McCune to 4th. And our Schroeder has dropped all the way back. He's under fire from 5th already from Brandon Thomas.
Yeah, I see that. You know, looks like Brandon does get by him coming through the tri-oval. And going into turn 1, Brandon's got a run on him and does clear him.
Rodney Harris took 2nd spot away from Lemons. Well, almost took it. Lemons going to get a good run on the outside here, but Rodney Harris really drove it down in there good. He got way up beside him.
Yeah, he does have a good run, and it looks like he is going to complete that back through. He caught the apron just a little.
Yeah, that got exciting for a second.
Yeah, that was that. Boy, I'll tell you what, that pit road entrance right there, you catch that apron, and that is lethal.
It'll just pull that left front down and in and bring the right rear corner right on around.
Sure thing. That happened to me in practice there. I went out and turned a few laps, and that happened to me 2 times. Looks like Rodney can't complete the pass, but Danny McCune on the high side. Now going to have to duck it back in here. Oh, man, that was close. He got really loose coming off the turn, Danny McCune did. Everybody's starting to get single file now, and it looks like Stephen Pearson may be showing the way pretty strong here in front of Lemons. Lemons kind of falling back just a little bit, about 0.3 of a second. So Stephen really showing some muscle here early on.
The top 9 have broken away from the rest of the field. These guys are getting everything they can get on these fresh tires, and you can tell as David Lowe looks inside of William Toney there. But, Snelson has fallen back here around 8th, 9th place, and he's just kind of hanging right there. He hadn't come back since the initial start when he dropped that far back. He hadn't made a move to come forward yet.
Yeah, it's going to go back here to Mike Vining running in the 11th spot, already 3 seconds behind this front group. Kind of leading this back part of the field around. We've got some good guys running back here too, and that's what I don't understand, whether something happened, there was a checkup on that restart or what, but these guys have really kind of like lost the draft of that front part of the field.
You know who's not back up to speed, and I don't know why, but that is the 88 trucker, Patrick Rowland. He's fallen so far back, it looks like he's just fighting that truck and losing a battle.
Well, he could be having some more issues. Yeah, he is not up to speed at all.
His last lap was a 32.99, and that's about almost 2 seconds slow.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, nobody to draft around him, too. Oh, and he gets really loose coming off of turn 4. And I see tire smoke up ahead of him. What's going on up front?
I'm trying to get there and look. Whatever it is, they straightened it back out.
Well, that was a good deal because that could have been bad. That would have happened right in front of him.
Yeah, I was watching him there with you, and wow, did he get crazy sideways off a 4 right there.
Yes, he did. All right, these guys in the back here, Snelson now up to 8, David Lowe in 7th. These guys are back just a little ways behind our leader, but they're not letting the leader get out there too awful far now. They're starting to reel him back in.
Lemon went back by Rodney Harris right there, and looks like Danny McCune's going to take a look inside, try to go with him. That's for second place.
And Doug Lemon's now about not quite a half a second behind our leader, Stephen Pearson. And Stephen, I know you don't get a whole lot of camera time when you're up in the front there, buddy, because
Rodney Harrison, don't turn too long.
We got. Okay, let's go back and take a look at that because I want to kind of give these guys some coverage here, find out what happens to these guys.
It looked like when they went down that corner, 77 just didn't get turned in early enough, and Harris was already trying to jump down on his line. That was side-by-side racing. They were racing hard, but I think that probably could have been avoided.
Yeah, Danny McCune coming up and giving him the old love tap right there in the side. So Rodney Harris definitely off the pace. No caution, though. As these guys all get gathered back up, that's going to move Rodney clear back to the 12th place. There's a lot of nose damage on that car. Now caution back. Oh, we got a big one here. It looks like Schroeder into it. And the 07 of Brandon Thomas. So let's go back and take a look at that.
Ooh, Schroeder got loose. Same place that we saw Mike Vining get loose a little earlier in the race. Right there past the start-finish line when you're pushed up on that outside line and you try to turn and make that little kink right there. He just got really, really loose, come down in the side of the 07.
Yeah, he trying to keep this. I'm not sure. I might not be at the right place yet. Oh, yeah, right there. Okay, yeah, just past that start-finish line where it does get a little squirrely. And that wind's not helping any. And that puts him right into the wall and the 07. So Schroeder taking a ton of damage on the front of that thing.
Yep. Yeah, it was just that spot that I was telling you about earlier. It just got really, really bad loose, and it goes left there. It always goes left there. It rarely goes to the right. And he already had a truck inside of him. Really wasn't anything Brandon can do. And at that point, there was nothing that Ray could do, and they just got together.
Everybody coming down on pit road, it looks like here. Our leaders coming down. I'm sure probably the back part of everybody going to probably come down here. And this may be the last pit stop of the day for some of these guys, Roger.
Yeah, it probably will be the last pit stop. If we go green, everybody's going to be able to make it till the end.
All right. Pearson coming into his pit stop. Let's see, right side tires going on. And left side tires, so it looks like everybody's doing a 4-tire change, and he is going to be the first one off the pit road.
Oh, easily the first one, a long ways in front of everybody. He's going to come out second. Big race for third.
Danny McCune coming off a second. Let's see, he did a 4-tire pit stall too, but it was he did exact same pit time as our leader, Stephen Pearson, 13.9 seconds.
Yeah, they did a good job of getting on and off the pits right there, and David Lowe eked past Doug Lemons there to take third spot coming off of pit road. Perry Snelson was right in the middle of that mix too. Little shake-up at the front here. I mean, Pearson kept the lead, it looks like, but second changed hands, third changed hands. Lemon went all the way back to fourth. Snelson came up to fifth. Thomas, after that contact, went back to sixth.
Well, I'm sure Danny McCoon's awfully proud of his pit crew getting him in and off the pit road that fast. And maybe he ought to give all them guys a raise.
Yeah, he should. He should do something.
That was great for him, because that picked him up a ton of positions. 'Cause I think he'd fallen back to what, 5th or 6th or something. So
He was running right there around 5th or 6th, but he had that contact with Rodney Harris there, right before we got that caution, and he'd had a little damage, but it looked like he hadn't used his reset, and his truck's in perfect working order again.
Oh, that's good. Good for Danny.
I think maybe we ought to see if something's wrong with Snelson's truck. Why he hasn't come back to the front after that smoking hot qualifying lap.
Well, you want to go down there and have a word with him?
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
All right, let me know when it's clear.
Yeah, we're clear.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Snelson, Roger Wagner up in the booth. You got a copy? Harry Snelson, you got a copy? Hey, man, you put down a smoking hot qualifying lap, and then right after the drop of the green there, you kind of went back, and we haven't seen you come to the front. Is something amiss with the truck, or are you just biding your time there, buddy?
Yeah, the setup doesn't feel right. I haven't been on all week. I've been sick all week, so I haven't been in the truck. I didn't do any practice. I drove home from work, jumped in, and did a qualifying lap.
Hey, you put her on the pole, and I thought, man, here we go. This guy's going to be the guy to beat again tonight. And we watched you on that initial start get shuffled back, and you've kind of just been hanging right there, between 6th and 10th place. And I was getting kind of curious as to whether you thought maybe you could make a couple of adjustments and push that thing right back up to the front before we get done, since we're about halfway now.
Yeah, I made an adjustment. We'll see if it helps me any here. It seemed like it was a little tight on entry, so it wasn't rotating the way I wanted it to.
Well, all right, man, we'll wish you a little bit of good luck there, and hopefully we get to talk to you at the end of the night in Victory Lane, buddy.
That would be nice. We'll see what happens here.
All right, so getting back up here to our leaders, Stephen Pearson going to lead them down. And Roger, call this down for me if you would, please. And they get ready to go green.
Yeah, you bet. We got old Mike Lining up here. He got in a little incident earlier, and he's been checked out and released. And I want to get a word with him here in just a couple of minutes. But I was thinking about maybe we send him down on pit road, see if he can glean some information from some of these crew chiefs, Rudy.
Absolutely, that sounds like a winner to me. Mike, welcome here up into the booth with us. Go ahead, Roger. I'll go ahead.
Let me get this.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and get this thing back on the green. You never know what could happen right here.
That's right.
Pearson, McCune going to lead them down here. Lowe and Lemons right behind that. This front shook up a little bit. Let's see what happens here. Pearson can get another good jump, stay out front for a little bit. Good tight field coming. Green flag flies. Pearson's on the gas. Well, McCune got a good jump. He's staying right there with him. They are door to door going down into one. All right. David Logan will try to take him a look on the inside of McCune here, see if he can get that run off the exit. Maybe get that truck as far forward as it's been all night.
Looks like he's got a pretty good run and is going to take that second place away from Danny McCoon. And now taking a peek on the inside of Pearson coming off of turn 4. Boy, did he get a run off of turn 4 that time. And going into turn 1, he may be able to get a run on Pearson. Pearson stuck up on that high side.
Pearson got a good drive through the center of that corner.
And Snelson coming along with him. So look at this here. Snelson said he did tighten that truck up a little bit. He said he thought it was a little bit, what did he say it was? A little bit loose in the turns or a little bit tight or something. But he did make an adjustment on it. And now right up here running in the 3rd spot after that restart.
I tell you, I don't know if that restarting on the number 1 spot is the way to be. Everybody that we've seen restart there goes backwards from the top of the green flag.
Yeah, you're right. Well, now, Roger, we got Mike Vining in the booth with us here if you want to talk with him and find out what's going on.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to find out what happened. I know he took the truck behind the wall and had a bunch of rear end damage on it. I didn't get to actually see what happened in the incident, but I was kind of hoping he'd let us know what happened there.
Yeah, I don't want to name any names, but I got attacked from behind. It's slippery enough out there with my setup. I made some changes that probably didn't need to make the changes, but it is what it is.
Well, like I said, I thought maybe we'd see if you could help us keep an eye on the guys on pit road, maybe kind of watch the guys towards the back there a little bit, and give us any updates on anything that you see or hear through the race chatter, and maybe help us out for the rest of the race.
I'd be glad to.
All right.
Looks like they got it pretty much sorted out, Rudy. I mean, everybody's just about single file now.
Yeah, Snelson up here in second. I've been watching him. I think maybe whatever that adjustment he did make on his truck has really made this thing a lot more. He's showing a lot more muscle up here now than he has showed since the drop of the green flag at the beginning of the race. Oh, we got
was that crazy?
Pearson way down off the track.
Oh, he's got to get that gathered up. He got her straightened out. That's an unfortunate break there.
Snelson for the lead.
He reacted to it, Rudy.
Yeah, Snelson for the lead now, but Loeb fighting back on the inside, and look at Loeb bringing a bunch of them with them. Now going to bring Doug Lemons along with them, so Snelson up there again on that high side getting hung up. Taps the outside wall, yeah. Danny McCoon getting by him. So Snelson losing a ton of positions right there, going from first to fourth in, what, a half a lap?
Yeah, he took a shot at the lead, and now he's fourth, and we barely completed the lap. Tell you what, this place is slick in a lot of spots, and if you get a little out of shape, and you go through one of those spots, it makes it twice as bad. A lot of these guys, I see a lot of hanging on going on.
I'm telling you, Doug Lemon's barely hanging on to that thing, as he did manage to happen to just caught the edge of that apron there at the pit road entrance, and I'm telling you, the front of his truck kind of dove down, and the back end kind of started going out, but he managed to hold on to it. Danny McCoon now 3 wide down the backstretch. Look at this, going into turn 1, 3 wide. Oh, and we got David Lowe comes down into him. Oh, man.
Wow, I didn't see that happening.
David Lowe come right down into Doug Lemons right there. Let's take a wander back here and take a look at that. That was pretty fierce. I'm not sure if he didn't know that he was there or what was going on.
I don't think he thought he was 3 wide, because it looked like he thought Lemons was going to turn in. He went ahead and turned on down in there, and McCune was on the bottom, but McCune had backed out and was trying to give them the space, and the contact was just there.
Well, here they are going 3 wide down the backstretch, going into the turn, and it looked like David Lowe just cut it right to the bottom. And I'm not sure, Doug Lemons, I think, might have seen him that he was coming, but he was afraid to turn down too much because Danny McCoon was there. But Lemons saves it, but he still wasn't out of the woods because he still come down into the side of Danny McCoon. So both of those receiving damage. But, oh, man, David Lowe taking a ton after hitting that outside wall. Everybody coming down on pit road now as Doug Lemons takes over the lead here.
Yeah, McCune's got a bunch of damage on that right front. And I don't know if he's used his reset yet or not, but it doesn't look good for sure. Maybe we get Mike to kind of watch that pit stop for us and see how much damage they actually fix on that.
Doug
Yeah, I've seen some, sorry about that, right rear damage, maybe a little bit of front right, but looks like they're going to get that fixed up.
I think David Lowe must be really upset at himself right now. He's running like that, and, you know, not sure, just a visual thing, not sure if he was, the 36. 2-tire change by the 36 of Craig Johnson, and he is out of pit road first. He changed right sides only, guys.
Yeah, you know, I think the guy that starts on the pole every restart, does not have an advantage, but having clean air seems to be an advantage after a lap or two.
Sure thing.
It looks like Lowe had not used his reset, so his truck is pretty well fixed now.
Oh, that's good, because I think that was just an unfortunate incident by him that he just, I don't know. Maybe a miscalculation or something. Who knows, Doug Lemons, coming off a pit road, but he's going to be restarting in the 12th place.
He's got left side damage all down that truck.
Even our leader, Craig Johnson, I heard, got a ton of damage on the nose of that thing and the rear of it. So I'll be kind of curious to see how he's going to manage to stay out ahead of Snelson on this restart. And he only did a 2-tire change, too.
Wow, your wave around truck this time is going to be the 9 truck of Timothy McFarland. Yeah, 2 tires and damage may not be the best thing to be in front of this field with.
No, I don't think, but maybe he knows something we don't, and maybe he can get out there. At least he's led a lap now, and that is point. So, and I think that's what a lot of times these guys do, try to get in and off a pit road quick, at least to try to get out there and lead 1 lap.
Well, yeah, points are points, and the guys want to get as many as they can. So, staying out and leading a lap or jumping out to the front and leading a lap. But sometimes you just got to think, man, is my truck damaged enough that I'm going to get run over when the green drops? Because all these guys are going as hard as they can early on fresh tires to get what they can get. Am I going to be in the way? Am I going to get run over? Sometimes biting the bullet and going to the middle or the back is probably a good decision. We're going to see how this works out for him. I don't know about this call. I wouldn't have made it if I was his crew chief.
Yeah, if I was Craig right now, I'd be a little bit nervous, knowing Snelson is very, very fast and has been working on that setup of his and got it dialed in a little bit better. I think I'd be a little bit nervous to lose that lead real quick and go to the back.
Yeah, it may happen pretty fast, too.
Yep.
If everything holds to form, I got a feeling it will.
The 71 there of, let's see, who is that?
Arnold Johnson
does get the iRacing wave by, so he will come back around and catch up to the back of the field. And it looks like he may be the only one a lap down.
That's still out on the track. Yeah, earlier the leader of the race got loose there. He was running about third. He had gotten past and was trying to battle his way back. It was Stephen Pearson in the 83 truck. He went down, took him a trip through the grass. Doesn't look like he got any damage. He came back out, got lucky, caught that caution. He's going to be restarting there about 9th place. So we'll see if maybe he can work his way back up. And a truck that was leading the race earlier and had a big problem, who still hasn't made his way past about 10th place, is that 88 truck of Patrick Rowland. He's going to restart about, looks like about 13th.
Mm-hmm. Yep. David Lowe coming back in, obviously having a reset, coming back out with a brand new truck, trying to get that thing back up to the front. He will be restarting in the 11th spot.
Yeah, and Mike's telling me that Rowland's got damage on their right rear. And, we were watching him fight loose a little while ago. I wonder if he smacked one and we just didn't see it.
All right, well, they're coming around here. The Craig Johnson leading them down. Pace car is going to be taking that hard left turn down pit road. And it
only
does.
Got about 25 laps to go, Rudy.
Yeah, cutting them down pretty quick here. Craig holding them back. Green flag does wave, and here they go, off and running again. Snelson getting a good run to stay right with Johnson. Just not his favorite place to be on that high side, I think.
No, Snelson doesn't do too good when he gets up on that outside right there. The guy that got a great restart, the 68 truck of Rick Walker. Wow, did he close up on that 36 truck quick? He's going to go for the lead right here. The guy who started in third has had the lead the last 3 restarts by the time we got back to the start finish line.
And this is not what Craig Johnson wanted to see, but he ducks it back in behind Rick Walker. And Rick Walker going to take the lead and lead a lap finally. Just what he wanted. He wanted to get up there and lead a lap.
Schroeder really with a power move trying to get past Johnson, and we got caution.
Doug Lemons. What happened to Doug here? Let's take a look.
Looks like he hit the outside wall and it came down. Took out a couple other.
Oh, he got collected. Wow, he got collected, and I know who that is.
The 32 truck.
Yeah. Why is he not showing on my list?
Yeah, the 33 truck.
33 truck of Sam Henry. That's who that is. He got in that spot right there off the start-finish line. If you look, he's up on that outside and right there past that start-finish line. That is just a really, really slick spot here. That wall's coming at you. You see it coming at you. You put a little wheel into it, and, man, it just snaps around. He collected 63 of Rodney Harris. He got Patrick Rowland. He got Doug Lemon. That was a pretty big wreck right there. Bunch of tore-up trucks now.
Yeah, these guys are definitely, you know, we see this all the time too, Roger, that, you know, cautions breed cautions, as they always say, and we're seeing that now, you know, looking at it here. I'm not sure if are the leaders going to come down pit road, Rick Walker being our leader. I think they're all waiting for the pace car.
I think they were all waiting for the 33 truck. I am kind of shocked. There we go. That's what I thought might do right there. Thought somebody might try to fake that.
Okay.
That was interesting. I wonder if any of these guys will be going to get in that black flag right there.
Might be.
That's a commitment cone violation, it looked like to me, but I got to go back and watch it.
Yeah, there's going to be some ticked off drivers about that, I think. That was
a cat and mouse game for sure, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was, I mean, he had them right down to, they were creeping around there.
Well, I think he was supposed to wait for the 33 truck to get by him, and I think he was trying to do that. But, you know, at that point, when you have to wait that long, if you're going to make a fake like that, it really is out the window because you're going so slow that the other guys have plenty of time to react. So,
sure,
it was interesting.
Well, Schroeder will be starting second. You know, Schroeder definitely a top dog here, as we've seen early on in the race. Definitely had a lot of power to show. Going to be restarting second. Steve Jones in third. Brandon Thomas now restarting in fourth. Perry Snelson fifth. So there's your top five on this next restart. And we're coming down to, won't be long, Roger. We're going to have
20 to go.
20 to go, yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to try to dial up old Rick Walker and see if he's just been playing possum all race or if he's made some adjustments to get that thing to the front here.
You are clear.
Rick Walker, Roger Wagner up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you. What's happening?
Well, man, I was curious. A couple of things. Have you been playing possum the whole race? I haven't really seen you too close to the front, and all of a sudden, man, bang! You just made a run at it. Did you get the truck right? Did you make an adjustment, or did you just get lucky and get up there?
Probably more luck than anything. I made one adjustment, but just trying to save it for the end here.
Oh, man, it looked like a pretty good power move there on that restart. And we've seen that a couple of times where the guy that restarts in the second row on the inside kind of gets a great run through 1 and 2 and kind of makes a power move down there. It looked like it worked out pretty good for you. And the pit road, was that a complete fake the whole time and you just got held up by having to wait for that lap truck, or did you just make that last-minute decision right there?
It was a total last-second decision. I was going to pit, and I looked back, and nobody else was, so I jumped back out there.
But do you think you can keep that thing at the front for the next 20 laps and bring this win home?
Well, I'm going to try. I got some tough people right there next to me there, so we'll try everything we can do to stay out there, but we'll just try.
Yeah, man, it looks like everybody in here is kind of hungry tonight. Good luck, and we'll catch you at the end of the race, maybe in victory lane.
Thank you.
He actually was going to pit. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because he only had like a lap or two on those tires, so I'm kind of surprised to hear that he was going to go put new skins on that thing. Did we have very many pits? I know the guy in third pitted. Did we have very many takers on pit road that time?
Looks like we did have pretty much everybody come down pit road except for our leader, a couple of our leaders up there.
Well, we got to shuffle at the front, don't we? I mean, Walker stayed out and Schroeder stayed out, but everybody behind that kind of looks like they're shuffled into spots they haven't been this whole race.
Not a whole lot of cars on the track at this time though to take this restart. Still got some guys coming off of pit road here trying to get caught up. Rodney Harris I'm still showing him on pit road. Oh no, wait a minute, he's off pit road.
I show Rodney Harris taking it behind the fence.
Yep,
there.
he's taking it behind the wall, so yep. That's too bad. It looks like another one might have taken behind pit roll was Sam Henry.
Yeah, that truck, I think the engine was gunning that truck. He was laying down a smoke trail going around there. Man, Roland's got a bunch of damage on that truck.
15 trucks taking this restart, Roger. Call it down for me, buddy.
You bet, buddy. Now, we haven't seen Rick Walker on the front when we restarted yet tonight. Let's see if maybe he's the guy that can make the magic and keep it on the front here as he brings him down and take this green on lap 62. Feels nice and tight. Green flag's in the air. We're back underway. About 19 laps to go, and Walker got a pretty good jump there. Look at that guy that started third, Jones. He got a great run all the way up beside Schroeder going down into 1 and 2 already.
Yes, sir. He is taking over that position, and we've got another one, Snelson, trying to get by him too. So we've got about a 4 or 5 car battle here up front. Everybody wanting a piece of this action. And Walker takes it up high. Not the smart thing to do on that one. Oh no! But he manages.
I think he was worried the 5 would get his nose in there. But he held on to that lead. I want to be the guy restarting third every time after watching these.
Yeah. Yeah, because now it looks like the 05 of Steve Jones, and they're 3 wide in the turn. Look at this. And
wow,
Jones gets taken. Oh, my
wreck.
word. We got a bunch of them going to be piled up on this. Rick Walker even getting damage on that. So, man, I'm telling you, that was crazy. Schroeder taking
that's 3 wide. Nothing good ever comes of that, really. But It looks like, the outside 2 guys did pretty good. The 05 moved up just a little on that exit. And he kind of got into the left rear corner of Schroeder there. I just started chain reaction. I'm trying to see who got into the 5 truck or the 68 truck just a little bit after that wreck.
I think there was some net coating involved in that. Yes, there was, because the 05 never even touched Schroeder here. And actually, Schroeder it was a little bit of net coating between him and, let's see, who the heck was that?
And Craig Johnson is who hit Schroeder when Schroeder was on his side.
Yeah, there was a little bit of, oh, yes, definitely. Oh, my. So there's going to be a lot of tore-up trucks going to pit road.
Yep. Well, I think Schroeder, his motor let go, so I don't think he's going to make it to pit road.
So Snelson.
Steve Jones is destroyed.
Snelson going to be our leader now.
How bad is Walker, Mike? Is his truck tore up pretty good? I know that the 05 truck, the rear end's all knocked loose in that thing, and he don't have a straight spot on it right now.
Yeah, Walker has a lot of damage on the nose of that truck. We're going to take a look at it here from the front view. Oh my, is he tore up. Tore up from the floor up, I'm telling you guys.
Well, 20 to go here, and it could go by pretty quick. It really is go time for these guys. So, I mean, you got to go with what you got. I mean, they were all pushing it a little bit. Nothing really good ever comes to 3 wide. We've seen it twice tonight, and both times it has resulted in a really big crash. So,
yeah, take a look here. This is caution number 5, and they've had 11 lead changes up in the front for this race. So we've had 11 different leaders today. And right now, it looks like Schroeder has led the most laps. He has led 19 laps today. But he is, I'm not sure if he's out of the race. I believe he may be out of the race.
Oh, yeah, that engine let go when he got hit the second time there. When he was up on his side, the engine let go on that truck and just put it on the hook and took it back to the trailer.
That's too bad, man. I hated to see that. We've still got a few guys out here, though. A few guys on pit road. Doug Lemon, Steve Jones, Patrick Rowland on pit road. So quite a few guys. Now Rick Walker bringing his down pit road, and I'm sure there's going to be some required maintenance to be done on that truck today.
You know, Rudy, I think we jinx some of these guys. Every time we talk to them, something happens to them.
Yeah, don't say that.
I know it ain't true. It's just a product of good, hard racing. But, man, we talked to Walker, and he got in a mess. We talked to Snelson, and his truck's all bent up. I mean, wow.
I hate it for these guys.
You know, I mean, everybody, we said it at the start of the race, that everybody is so close, and we could show that by the times in practice, the times in qualifying, that all these trucks are running so close to each other, and out here on the track, they're running so close to each other, the tiniest little mistake, and it's going to end up being a big deal, unless everybody's just really, really lucky and avoids you. And so far, you know, we've seen a couple of lucky jobs where guys have avoided a wreck, but, you know, the last couple have been 3-4 cars.
So coming to the line, going to be 14 to go, and I think they're going to have 1 to go at the line. So we're going to take the green flag at 13 laps to go, and that's going to be quite a little jaunt for these guys to try to battle this out to take it to the end without bringing out another caution and getting more damage on them trucks.
Well, and Snelson's going to lead them around, and you know, he's going to have Thomas and Pearson right there, and those two guys are teammates, and they've been pretty strong all night. Pearson, you know, he led at one point. Thomas has worked his way away from the back all the way back up to the front, so they're pretty strong. He's going to have a challenge here. You know, that 40 truck there of Brent Keith. I haven't seen him up close to the front much tonight, but you know, he stayed in. It looks like the truck's pretty square. You know, obviously he's got a good shot at this. We'll see that little bit of damage, if that's going to hinder Snelson or not. If they can get these last 15 laps in green, I bet we're going to see another exciting finish like we got to see last week.
All right, well, the lights are off on the pace car, Roger, and we're going back to green here. Everybody's doubling back up. We've got a few guys still coming off pit road trying to catch back up to the back of the field. Rick Walker and Patrick Rowland, and Doug Lemons, probably just about get caught up to the back of the field when they get ready to go green.
Yeah, looks like we've still got about 12 out on the track, and we've got maybe 13, and we've got 11 on the lead lap.
Yep, that's exactly right. Doug Lemon's the only one. It looks like Doug Lemon's the only one on a lap down that's still on the track.
Well, the last time we saw Perry Snelson start from the number 1 spot when the green dropped, in 3 laps he was 5th. So let's see if he's done enough work on that truck on pit road that he can hold these two guys behind him off. The guy in the catbird seat is the 83 truck with Stephen Pearson. Every time that guy gets the run that gets him to the lead by the time we come back to the green flag.
He's sitting in the 3rd spot.
Yeah. Well, they're coming around here out of turn 4. Pace car getting ready to duck off. And Snelson bringing them to the line.
Bringing them slow, too.
And green flag.
Wow, he brought him down real slow, and I think that's going to help him separate from the guy in 3rd.
But it looks like Brandon Thomas not going to let him get out there too far. He may have to tuck it in behind him, but not going to let him
cross
get
him
out.
over. That's a good move right there. He's going to have position on him down here in 3.
Looks like Brandon Thomas going to go for the win, or the lead right here. Not the win, but maybe the win. But there's
Pearson making a strong run right there.
Look at the 83 pushing the 07 down through the turn or the straightaway. Now going into the turn, it looks like Brandon Thomas going to take over, and Stephen Pearson right behind him.
Battle for 3rd or 4th side by side right there with Brent, Keith, and William. No, that's not William Tony. That's Craig Johnson. That's actually William Tony and Craig Johnson. Keith has dropped all the way back.
11 laps to go here to finish this up, and we're seeing even the 36 there of Craig Johnson with a lot of damage on that, running into 4th place, really hanging on strong.
Yeah, he's having a pretty good run. He got that damage at the very beginning of the race, and he's been able to maintain that truck and keep it quick the whole night right there.
We're going to ride along with him, looking ahead to our leaders from the roof cam here. These guys really showing some muscle.
Loose.
Oh, Timothy McFarland really loose right there in that bad spot through the tri-oval, but he gathers it up. And he's going to fall back a few spots. But he's going to keep it on track, and we're going to stay green.
And now's the time that these guys do not want to have a loose condition to fight with. Now Stephen, looks like Stephen Pearson rolling into the lead, gets by Brandon Thomas.
Thomas is going to be able to hold that second spot. I'll tell you, the draft here is huge. And you watch these guys, you know, they get past and get back in line, and they suck right back up on the guy that just passed them. McCune got loose through the tri-oval. He loses 2 spots.
Snelson
He may lose 3.
Snelson hanging on in 3rd. These guys really doing great up in here in the front 4. Nose to tail. Coming to the line is going to be 8 laps to go to finish this 80-lap race.
Yeah, who's going to just kind of... Uh-oh, Pearson loose off of 4. Gets Thomas a huge run. Snelson's going to try the outside.
Craig Johnson taking it. Oh, man, he was looking...
Wow!
He backed out of it just in time. Yes.
That was a good choice right there, not to go 3 wide. Wasn't what he wanted to do, but it's what he needed to do.
Exactly, or they would have all been piled up.
I think so, and Snelson gets past Brandon Thomas there into the 2nd spot. He's got a great run. Oh, and he gets loose.
Snelson.
In that draft, you pick up, sorry, Rudy, but in that draft there, you pick up just a little bit of push on that nose. It doesn't plant as good, and you put a little more wheel in it. You catch any air out from behind that truck in front of you, and it's going to let that rear end jump loose on you.
Now Craig Johnson took another peek inside Brandon Thomas. Had a lot of muscle coming out of the turn, but boy, he couldn't get it by him again. He might just settle in and try to see if he can't get 4th place out of this, but Snelson back out in the lead.
Pearson's just going to dog him and try to make him loose so that he can't run his line.
6 laps to go here of this nail-biter. Stephen Pearson now up under the inside of Snelson. Snelson does not handle that high side. We've known that from the beginning. And boy, he could be in trouble right here.
Well, if those 3 get nose to tail, Pearson, Johnson, and Thomas, they can push right past him. And they brought David Lowe back into this mix, so he's not out of this yet either.
Yeah, David Lowe, definitely one not to count out, especially running where he's at right now, because this is where he likes to run. And he takes a peek inside Craig Johnson. Not to do it this time, though. Craig falling back to the 4th place.
Nice block by the 07.
We've got another caution.
That is going to be the race, guys. I think that's it.
Patrick Rowland. Ooh.
You're going to be at 77 at the line.
That's it. This is over.
Let's take a wander back here and take a look and see what happened to Patrick. Boy, he's got an awful lot of damage on that truck. And just to add, you know, a little salt to the injury, you know.
Now, him and McFarland were kind of going through the corner there side by side, and I don't know if Rowland hit the bumps and got a little tight and come up, or if McFarland hit the bumps and got a little loose and came down, but they got together in the middle of turn 2, and yeah, they both hit the wall hard.
Yeah, it looks like McFarland come down into Patrick Rowland right there. So it's too bad for these guys. I hate to see this finish like this, and especially finish under caution. You know, we always like to see a race finish, you know, under green flag conditions, but it is what it is. That
was shaping up to be a really exciting finish. I saw a great block off of 2 right before we got that caution. The 07 coming off of 2. He knew Snelson was trying to cross him over. He just jerked that thing to the bottom and kept his rear end in front of the nose of the 12. And that's probably going to secure him a second place finish right here.
Yep, very, very close racing right there, and you know, to see them guys racing it out like that, that was amazing. And for Stephen Pearson to come out ahead of them guys after all that was amazing.
Well, you know, he didn't get a great restart, and we've been talking about the guy that restarted third every time is the guy that was getting to the flag first, and
that's where he started.
Time they came back, he was back on the bumper. Mm-hmm. Right there to take that flag second, and then you know Thomas and Snelson just battling, and Johnson, you know, he was getting great runs. He just couldn't get the spot to get inside at the right time, and rather than make it 3 wide, he just kind of saved it, and he's going to end up coming home fourth, which still is a great finish considering he's had damage the entire race. But man, these guys, these top 5 were ready to set a battle up for these last 2 laps, and we're not going to be fortunate enough to see how that was going to play out under green.
Yeah, I think David Lowe might have got up there and give these guys a little bit of a what for, you know. He got tangled up in that wreck earlier on, David Lowe did, and has managed to bring that thing back up and running in the 5th spot, and was starting to compete with these guys and battling for the win here tonight. So I think we might have seen him into the mix of it.
Right. Yeah, I believe we're going to. Yeah, I believe we're going to see this finish under caution, and you know, Pearson. Hey, we seen him up front 2 or 3 times. He made a great run. You know, he started this race 7th, stayed in that top 5 pretty much the whole race. Led a couple times, had a big mistake there. Got loose off of the corner, chasing Snelson down. Kept it off of everything. Didn't get any damage on it, and you know he's going to come home with the win. A great run for him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We'll bring his teammate home second with him. And Snelson, who came in, no practice, threw a fast lap down in qualifying, and then rode around from 5th on back most of the race. Thought he might have had a chance to win this. He's going to end up with 3rd, which I'm sure he's going to take it. He's not going to be upset about that, but I'll bet he feels like he had a real shot to get back to the front and win this thing.
Yeah, Stephen Pearson, I'm really impressed with the driving that he did tonight. Definitely showed me a lot of his capabilities of bringing this thing to the front and staying in it, you know, and because that's so important, you know. Yeah, anybody can get up there and lead a lap, but staying with it, as we've seen Snelson kind of fall back quite a few times on them restarts, being stuck on that high side, just hated being on that high side. His truck was not happy up there on that high side. And, you know, Snelson, as good a driver as he was, he just could not hang with them guys going by him on the low side.
Yeah, you know, when he got pushed up to the high side, you're right, he dropped way to the back, and it may have been a product that his setup wasn't great, or that, you know, the very top of this track is not quite where you want to be, and he was trying to be a little careful, but until he could get back in line, he just kept going back, and we saw that from more than just him. We saw a couple of guys do that, so a great race still. You know, we had a handful of cautions, but it was still a great race. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see this finish under green, but, you know, I enjoyed it. I thought this was some fun racing out here. I'm sure these guys had a blast.
Oh, I'm sure. You know, as we're seeing Stephen Pearson bring it around on the final lap here, because they did get the white flag, and he brings it around. I'm sure he's just probably jumping up and down in that seat, happy for you know, the win that he did, and bringing his teammate Brandon Thomas with him. So great run by these guys today. You know, it was amazing to see such a great run. David,
you know, we saw what we thought we'd see too, Rudy, because, you know, the pack racing, there was just little packs of trucks that were about equal and racing each other, and that really made it exciting. White knuckle racing the whole time.
Oh, sure. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
These guys love that. They love the intensity, I think. I know I do. I love the intensity of you know, these guys taking the win here all the time, And even if it does finish under caution, which I'm sure the guys are not happy about, but except for Steven. Steven Wilson is probably just tickled to death that it finished like it was because he didn't know what was coming up behind him. I mean,
he knows what's coming behind him now. As soon as he gets to that line, his teammate's going to dump him.
Yeah, I'm sure. As we're
That's why he's running away.
Yeah, he knows it's coming. But let me know, Roger, when it's clear down there, and I'll open the mic for you, and you can get a word in with our winner.
I'll do that. Give us a second here. They're all still kind of chatting it up a little bit, but I mean, good race. We started with 20. We had, I believe, we had 13 finish the race. We had 11 on the lead lap there, maybe 12. I mean, it was great racing.
Sure was. I know I was on the edge of my seat coming into the last couple laps, just knowing that, you didn't know what the outcome of this was going to be. And, to see these guys bring it home like that, oh, man. So Steven Pearson he's going to be doing his victory burnout here, I think, if he's got enough truck left, if his teammate didn't take it all away from him.
Give him a good burnout.
Well, Brandon can't hurt him anymore because Brandon hit the wall a ton right there. So,
well, I think we're cleared out. I think I'm going to yell at Pearson and get his take on getting that win tonight.
Right.
You got it.
Steven Pearson, Roger Wagner up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir, Roger. I got you.
Well, man, you brought it home number one tonight. Brought your teammate home number two with you. Kind of walk us through the race. I know you started middle of the pack, but you had a couple incidents. Nothing damaging your truck, but kind of walk us through that and tell us how it feels to win your first time out here in Midnight Motorsports.
Oh, it actually feels pretty good, man. I mean, these guys are racing hard from the get-go. I mean, I don't know. Everybody seems to be pretty on a pretty level playing field, so it feels pretty good, man. I'm glad Brandon got second. Feels pretty good for RPM.
Yeah, at the end there, you started in what we were calling the catbird seat, but the guy was restarting third every time. Had the greatest spot because he was able to jump with the leader, and usually by the exit of turn 4, he was beside him or past him and was able to take it. You didn't get a great restart on the last one, but you got right back to there. Was your intention just, hammer it down, whatever happens, I got to get this win. I kind of messed up and got myself loose and had to go through the grass and drop back to 10th, or were you going to try to bite it out and see what happened to Snelson and Thomas and just pick your spot? Which was your strategy there?
I don't know. With those few laps to go with that restart, my idea was to win it, but if my teammate would have got in front of me, I was just planning on staying behind him. I know I got in front of him. I got loose one time and slowed him up, and I feel bad for him because I think he had a chance to win it too because he was fast on mine as well.
Well, a great win, and it was good to see you be able to recover from that spin earlier and come home and get this. But is there anybody in particular that you need to maybe make a shout-out to or say a special thanks to?
Just want to give a shout-out to all the racers out here. They did a great job. I mean, we had a few cautions. Wasn't bad, though. Give a shout-out to my teammates. You got Brandon, you got Dan, you got Mikey. Glad to see Brandon come home in second. It's a good night for Raw Power Motorsports.
All right, buddy. Good job, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
You got Brandon Thomas there, Mr. Cummins?
Yes, sir. Brandon Thomas, this is Rudy Cummings in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, Rudy.
Great job out there tonight, Brandon. We followed along with you quite a few times there, and seen you kind of get mired back in the field about mid-pack, and you brought it back up here to win, right behind your teammate finishing second. How does that make you feel?
Well, first would be better, but I'm happy for Raw Power Motorsports. It's a good team finish. That's most important. Would have liked to have a chance to race in there at the end instead of ending under caution.
Absolutely. It was getting pretty intense. What was your plan there of knowing Snelson was in there, Craig Johnson, David Lowe, all you five really battling for that top position, and it was getting pretty intense. What was your plan to finish out them last couple laps if it would have went green the rest of the way?
I really didn't have a plan. I was just going to try to go where the holes opened up. I knew on that last restart I had to go. I've had a hard time restarting on the high line all night. I got a decent start, and when Smeltson moved up, I tried to cross over. I think I may have touched him. I don't think I upset him too bad, but I tried to get back under him and get a run because I knew Steven would be there if I didn't.
Well, great job out there tonight, Brandon. You're bringing home second spot. Was there any other part of the race that you would think that might have helped you get back up here that you wish might not have happened the way it did?
Yeah, there was a incident there towards the middle of the race. I don't remember exactly what lap it was. I think it was the 42 got loose on the outside, and quite honestly, I thought the race was over at that point, but it worked out in the end, I guess.
Well, giving your teammate a little congratulations wreck there, I'm sure he appreciated that. But good job bringing it home second tonight, Brandon. You want to give any special shouts out to any fans or friends or family that could be watching tonight?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all the guys that raced me clean tonight. It was a lot of fun. My first time out over here. I really enjoyed it. Just want to thank Raw Power Motorsports for giving me a great truck tonight. And I did get my hand slapped by the owner for tearing up 3 trucks there, but it was worth it.
All right, Brandon. Thanks a lot, and congratulations again on your second spot. Roger?
Paris Snelson, Roger Wagner, you got a copy?
I got you, Roger.
Well, buddy, we got to talk to you earlier, and you said you thought you might have had something, and it looked like maybe you were kind of going to challenge for that win there until that caution came out. Did you have any kind of plan, or were you just waiting to see what happened in front of you and just try to pick those guys off one at a time?
No, my plan was not to get past on that restart, but for some reason tonight my restarts were horrible. I mean, by the time I exited 2, they were already inside going around. So that in there, I was just going to wait and see what happened between them 2. If a hole came up, I was going to put my nose in it and see what happened.
Yeah, you come home third. After the initial start there, you drop back almost outside the top 10. I'm sure it's satisfying to even finish third. I know you wanted to get that win, but kind of walk us through. How bad was the truck at the start, and what did you do to make it better so you could come home with this third place finish?
Well, I just made some tire pressure adjustments. It didn't seem to be driving like it did before, so I was just adjusting on the tire pressure on those 2 stops to try and help it. It helped it a lot. For some reason, I couldn't seem to get going the way everybody else was.
It seemed like all night long it wasn't just you, maybe. It was kind of everybody that started there from that pole position on restarts would get shuffled up and out, and the guy that restarted third was the guy that had a great shot at that. Had you paid any attention to that? Had you noticed that, and were you worried about that on that last start?
Oh, yeah, I paid attention to it. I was just telling Rick Walker before that restart, I don't think first place is a place to start.
Yeah, I was saying all night, man, I want to be the guy restarting third on every one of these restarts if I'm out there racing, because that's the guy that was getting back to the green flag first every time. It was really interesting. Was it just the conditions of the track, or was it just that, clean air on a restart wasn't where you wanted to be because you were pressing up against that wall of air like that?
I'm going to say clean air had a lot to do with it. The truck wasn't as fast in clean air as it was if you had somebody behind you or you were behind someone else. After I made the adjustments, it ran good. It was fast. I put myself in a couple of bad spots and got shuffled back a little bit. But, it's all racing, and it was good racing tonight.
Well, it was a blast to watch, and we want to congratulate you again on that third place finish. Is there anybody in particular or a group of people maybe you want want to say thank you or hey to you on the broadcast?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thanks to Patrick and Rick Walker for putting this deal on for us and making it happen. And a shout out to the entire group here racing tonight. I mean, we actually had a good race. We had a few cautions. Some guys had some things happen. But all in all, the racing was excellent.
All right, well, man, win last week and a third this week, and we can't wait to see you guys get it on next week. So we'll be looking forward to Richmond next week with you guys. Congratulations, and we'll see you next time.
Rudy, take her away, buddy.
All right, let's go down through the results here real quick. Stephen Pearson, of course, our winner here tonight in the number 83. In second place, Brandon Thomas.
But we'll do that in between Richmond and Daytona. Or is it Daytona? Or
Sorry, Ricky. I grabbed you. I was going to bring you in here while we were going through that because I wanted to talk to you before we shut the broadcast down. I'm sorry, Rudy.
No problem.
Brandon Thomas finishing second here. Perry Snelson in third. Craig Johnson fourth. David Lowe coming back up through the field and finishing fifth. William Toney in sixth. Danny McCoon sliding back to the seventh spot. Rick Walker finishing eighth. Brent Keith ninth. Patrick Rowland struggling with that wrecked car all night, getting it fixed up as much as he could, finishing in the 10th spot. Timothy McFarland in 11th. Doug Lemons 12th. Steve Jones 13th. Ray Schroeder 14th. Arnold Johnson 15th. Rodney Hare 16th. Sam Henry 17th. Mike Vining finishing in 18th, and Kevin Mort in 19th, and that rounds out the field there. And Roger, did Ricky have anything that he wanted to say here tonight on the broadcast?
Well, I wanted to ask Ricky and or Patrick, either one. I mean, you had a way bigger field tonight than you had last week. You guys did a whole lot of recruiting, or the broadcaster helping, or whatever it was. But with the overall event having 20 plus trucks out there tonight, do you think you guys are on your way back to having these big fields and these big races like this permanently?
I think we are. I do. The attendance was really up tonight. The guys were having fun. There wasn't any bad blood out on the track. I think it's gonna go nowhere but up from here, gentlemen.
There was a lot of exciting racing. I wasn't out there in it, but I was able to watch it, and past experience of being on this track in these trucks, I know it's pretty white knuckle. The draft's a pretty big factor. I think everybody raced about as hard as they could, about as clean as they could. We saw a couple of incidents, but most of the stuff we saw was just trucks getting loose in those 3 or 4 weird spots out here. Overall, do you think the racing was really good tonight?
Yes, I was having a great time. I got a little tied up off and got that outside wall and threw myself down to the inside. Kind of ruined my race from there, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun being out there. These guys all race clean and hard. It's a really good time.
Well, a lot of new faces that I see. Some of these guys I'm sure are familiar to you guys from past league races or whatever, but a lot of new faces in here to me tonight, and it seemed like everybody kind of just fit in and everybody raced well. If you guys would you tell everybody that's kind of watching on the broadcast kind of where they can become a part of this at?
Yeah, just go to the leagues tab on your iRacing page there, and go to Midnight Motorsports and send us a request, and we'll darn sure take a look at you and get you accepted and get you in there racing.
And is it Richmond next week? Am I correct on that?
Yes, Richmond next week.
Yeah, same time?
Yes, same time, and we're also thinking about adding one more. We're talking about adding a California race probably after Richmond, but I got to talk to everybody and make sure everyone has a track.
Well, I'd absolutely be looking forward to that, televising a California race. I've only done a few laps on that track, and I like the way it looks, especially in the dark. I like the way that track looks, so it might be kind of fun to broadcast a race from there. I look forward to that. I hope everybody agrees with you guys. Well, appreciate you guys dropping by the booth and give us that information, and we hope everything keeps going up for you, and we appreciate you letting us broadcast the races.
Thank you, guys.
All right, well, I'd like
Thank you guys very much.
Go ahead.
I was just saying thank you guys very much. It's an awesome job you guys do. Very professional.
Well, thank you, Patrick. Appreciate that very, very much. I'd like to thank my partner here tonight, Roger Wagner, in the booth with me, and also joined us in the booth there, sorry to say, after he got wrecked out, Mike Vining. Thank you, Mike, for helping us out a little bit there, that you helped us the last part of the race, and appreciate that very much.
Not a problem. Anytime you need help, I'm not racing, glad to help out.
All right, well, a good race overall. Roger, you got any last-minute comments about the race here before we do close out the broadcast?
You know, like I said, we kind of got what I thought we'd get, little packs of trucks racing one big track, and it turned out to be little packs of trucks, 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks, racing really hard with each other. The draft was a little bit of a factor. We saw the slick spots we talked about. But I thought the racing was excellent. I thought everybody did a great job. We saw a bunch of lead changes. We saw a lot of guys get to the front. You know, we didn't see that big mistake on pit road that we thought we might see. But it's just really exciting, intense racing. I hope everybody watching enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed calling it. And, you know, congratulations to Stephen Pearson for the win.
Absolutely. All right, well, you can catch us here at twitch.tv/MaxSpeedTV. Make sure you guys do follow us there. Click that follow button under the viewing screen. You can also catch us, if you can't watch it there, you can catch us at MaxSpeedTV.com. Follow us along on Facebook at Facebook.com/MaxSpeedTV. I do post the videos up there. Get in on the conversations. Lots of stuff happening over there. Do broadcast 6 nights a week. Even on Friday nights, I got a back-to-back broadcast. I do 2 in a row. So you can follow us along with the schedule, actually, on MaxSpeedTV.com, our broadcasting schedule. But thanks for tuning in tonight, and we will see you tomorrow night.